Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where last episode we worked on getting ourselves a little bit better situated here, and we've still got some work to do on that, to be sure. Let's get zoomed in here. There we go. That took a moment to, I guess, compile the shaders for this. I think I had a graphics driver update, so that would make sense. We're going to proceed here. We are at this funeral right now, and this funeral is not going to begin for another 6 months. Well, at most 6 months. If all of the guests show up before then, it will begin first, but it'll start in at most 5 months. So that is absolutely fine for right now. At this moment, what we really need is, well, more legitimacy. We just need to try to keep our legitimacy up as much as we can before we come of age. We're also working on hopefully getting a decent stewardship education. We have charming, and that is going to struggle with the stewardship education. I'm still going for it. What is this? Is this nomads? No, actually. It's this guy. And a liberty faction. They're about 10 months apart. So I want to take a look here. 43%. So really, if we get this lady out of the faction, then we won't have a problem, theoretically. What would happen if we arranged a marriage here to our half-sister? She would accept that, actually. I'm kind of surprised, but let's go with that. That should solve that problem. And then we would have this Liberty faction, but I don't care about the Liberty faction. If we're just going to have one faction, we'll fight them. That's going to be the plan. But as of right now, that looks pretty decent. So we'll just let this faction happen. The game thinks they're at 86% of our strength. They're actually at like 5% of our strength. I want to be clear about that. So that guy is no longer a personal physician. Okay. And here we go. So, the grief of the nephew. Sure. So we could lose some stress. We do have some stress at this moment, so we'll do that. How old are we? We are 7. Okay. Noted. And we lose 20 additional stress. So that is absolutely fine for right now. A speech by the 7-year-old, huh? A 22% chance of gaining 43 legitimacy. We'll just speak of his virtues. Everyone will gain a little opinion of us, and that sounds good. The odds just weren't great. Similarly, the odds are terrible here. We could get 50 piety, or we could get 50 piety and lose 30 stress because of our mourn intent. So why would we ever choose this when we can choose this? There we go. So that seems fantastic. And what is this? Isolate capital? Okay. So we're keeping an eye on these factions for right now. This faction is the one we need to really pay attention to. So we apparently don't understand death very much. I mean, we're 7, so that makes sense. But basically, our entire family has died, so you'd think we would have gotten it by now. Who knows? We'll lose a little bit of stress. We don't have any stress at this moment, so that is fine. Now, all of these vassals here, they can't join factions, so that seems okay. Unrelenting devotion. Legitimacy gain plus 5%. For 15 years. I'm gonna take that. It gets us a little bit of stress, but it doesn't really matter. 60% chance. That's actually pretty decent. A combined learning and prowess challenge. We'll try it. Maybe we'll lose. We did not. So we gained 45 legitimacy, and that's good. We need to get a lot more legitimacy, though. So that is understood. The offering of libations. 18 legitimacy or 45 legitimacy for 450 gold. I'm going to spend the gold. A round of drinks for all. I'm sure this 7-year-old is very good at choosing the drinks. Okay, so familiar toys, huh? What do we feel our ancestor enjoyed? So this guy is suspecting us to be the reincarnated spirit of our grandfather? The unworthy. Okay, so he's going to put this theory to the test, and we have to choose what toy our ancestor enjoyed. And we don't actually know. I don't think that was a thing that was previously set up. So we just have to kind of choose at random. And we'll see if we're reincarnated or not. Well, we can take a look here. He was content, arrogant, and content and arrogant, huh? Okay. Content, arrogant, and gregarious. But this isn't necessarily what he was as a child, right? He had a lot of problems. He had a whole lot of problems. Okay, let's go with the spinning top. Okay. It did not belong to him. Can we try again? No, obviously not. Okay, so we're not reincarnated. That's fine. So we gain our legitimacy level up to true, and we're just barely in it. So we're going to lose it again pretty soon. So we need to finish this funeral, and we need to head on home. Unfortunately, we can't do another funeral for 5 years, but we needed to get that on cooldown, and we're going to drop down below our legitimacy level again soon. We can't do anything about that until we're 12, so it's going to be 4 years at this point. And that's understood. So for now, our main focus is on maintaining our legitimacy level. So, to that end, we could hold another funeral, but we can't do this for another 5 years. So that's fine. We could hold a feast, but we're a child. We can't do that. Indeed. So there's not a lot we can do. We're going to want to have a coronation, obviously, as soon as we can. We're going to summon the physician for now. 900 gold, huh? You know, let's check to see if we have anybody in court who's... This guy's good. Average, good. Average, average, average. Excellent. This guy'll do. So we'll appoint him, and both of them fail to impress me. Cool. So, Sheeppox, we're going to go with a soft approach is best, and we're going to put this guy on control plagues. Wonderful. Okay, so this rebellion is going to be soon, right? 5 months? And they think they're at 106% of us. Isn't that cute? It's just adorable. They're not, obviously. They are nowhere near that. And I want to get more upgrades going, ideally. Things that will further improve our men-at-arms. But I don't think we can really afford that. Maybe over in Mahal? Actually, yeah, we can afford it over in Mahal. So we'll get going on that. Excellent. Hey, ransom. Sure, we'll take 20 gold. Seems absolutely fine. Now, obviously, our domain limit is a problem. I'm deliberately staying above our domain limit. Hopefully, when we come of age, we'll get that solved, and we should be able to. So, let's see here. Actually, I'm going to take the cultural acceptance here. Turco-Afghans are probably not terribly relevant to us, but we do have some territory over here, so sure. We'll take it. Cultural acceptance is not necessarily a bad thing anyway. So that seems absolutely fine for right now. And we're mostly just waiting to come of age. As you can see, we've dropped down below our target legitimacy level. We'll get there as soon as we can have another feast, but it's going to be a little while. We'll have our coronation before then, I believe. So we should probably make sure that we have enough money for the coronation, but for now, I'm interested in just saving up money because these guys are going to fire in 1 month. So actually, we should be coming up over here. Now, this is going to be a Liberty faction, which means that the war goal will be for them to come down over here. So maybe we shouldn't pre-raise. Their goal is to lower the crown authority, and that's understandable. We're on maximum crown authority right now, and we're planning on remaining there for the record. I'm going to want to get off of uncrowned as soon as we can. 2.5 legitimacy a month is a lot. We will not be threatened, and you can see that immediately this is where we need to defend. So that's where they're going to come, and I'm interested in seeing where their forces are. They're pre-raised out over here, working on stuff awkwardly. Okay. Well, we could raise our forces here. Just the men-at-arms, probably. I don't want to spend money on this if I can help it, other than what our men-at-arms are going to cost. We need a new steward, and that's going to be this lady. Okay, so our men-at-arms are here, and they are incredibly powerful. We're going to walk up over this direction. I'm going to siege here. There we go. and siege here. I'm watching this battle over here, and I'm thinking, okay, I don't care about this. This is fine. So we have here sieged. We're going to walk this direction. Now, these guys are going to walk into us, and we're going to stack wipe them. That's not a problem. And then we're going to come down over here. And we catch this force. They're going to get stack wiped, and they're going to pile into us. They're all going to get stack wiped. No problem there. And this is sieged. Beautiful. So we're going to head off over this way, and the question is, are they attacking us down over here? Well, not currently. So that seems reasonably fine. Okay, so we're going to siege this, and we're going to walk up here. Now, my main question right now is, where is this guy located? He is in this army out over here. That's noted. I'm going to go take his capital, since we're right here. I'd love to fight this force, but unfortunately they got out of there in time. And he's just sieging up this direction. So ticking war score is on our side right now, and we're really close to ending this war. We might be able to end this war just by occupying this county here. Although he did get an occupation there. But ticking is on our side, as we would expect. Okay, yeah, they're getting some occupations out over this way. But I would definitely like to come out over this direction. We're at 83 now. And we're going to come in over here. We'll get this occupied. We'll come up over this direction. I'd love to fight his force that's up here. And we will see if that ends up being a thing or not. So these sieges are going incredibly fast. It's not even going to be a thing. We don't need to fight that. So this is now done. We'll enforce those demands and disband our troops. Fantastic. I don't know why he tried that. It was never going to work. But sure, at least we got some legitimacy out of it, right? So that brings us back up to legitimacy level 4. And our current age is 9. Okay. So we've got about 3 years here before we can get coronated. We're not going to be of age in 3 years yet. Now, in Crusader Kings 3, this does not... Oh, this guy isn't even our vassal. Cool, we'll take his money. In Crusader Kings 3, this is not stopping us from expanding. What was stopping us from expanding was that rebel faction. But now we can theoretically work on some expansion if we wanted to. We could fight a little bit up over here. I think I'm going to take this a little more cautiously than we have been and just go for something kind of like this. A single de jure claim up over here just to link this back together, and we can start pushing our way back up into Mongolia out over this direction. So let's drop a rally point right down over here. We'll raise up our men-at-arms. It's not going to take them very long to get there, and we'll be able to get this taken out very quickly. But this is going to be a little less efficient. Oh, this is going to be awkward. Are they going to get here before any men-at-arms arrive? That could delay us. They did. Okay. So they stack wiped our 0 troops. That doesn't actually cause us any significant damage, but it does delay us slightly. It's okay. It's not a big deal. It's not a real defeat. It's a fake defeat. And we can see that we're not going to get ticking war score due to this flashing bug, but that's fine. Doesn't matter. So we'll get raised up over here, and hopefully they don't come in and wipe us again. That'd be unfortunate. They thought about it, but they did not get here in time. So we're going to head up and siege this. This is just free at this point. They can't stop us. Okay, so we're going to hop up over here. We're at 58%, and I don't think they're even going to get this siege finished by the time we get this done, so it should be fine. Fantastic. So we'll enforce those demands and disband our troops. Beautiful. Of course, we're going to need to grant these titles out, and that's going to be nobles of the Tamil culture that we're going to grant these to. So that seems fine, and I'm not going to grant out vassals right now unless we do have to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here, and that's us. I want to talk to the king that's out over here, and I want to grant vassals of these nomadic camps. We don't want to hold these. So we're going to be granting these out, and we'll keep the vassals for now who have actual land. Because these are kind of fake vassals in a weird sort of way. So we'll do that for now, and that will do the trick. Obscurity of the Mongolia. I cannot deny that my beloved empire, the Mongolia, has fallen and fallen far. It truly has. No, we're not going to destroy it. We're just going to say, we just need more time. It's fine. We do need more time. We did have it, and then they dissolved it for no reason. But, okay, sure. So only Shiva can grant us strength. We're dismissing this person as our personal physician, and we probably need a new one now. In fact, we're just going to put him right back in there. Perfect. He's also our antiquarian, which just made me think, wouldn't it be funny if he was filling every single one of these jobs? It kind of would be. I don't know that we can even do that, but that would be really funny. I don't even see him in this list, so I don't think he can, but that would be absolutely hilarious. Just to have one person filling every single one of these court positions. We don't have these filled at all right now, and I mostly just ignore these, but we may want to... No, this doesn't actually do anything for us because we do have a guardian. Okay, so yeah, that's fine. So we could gain the trait Vengeful. I don't really care about that. We could do Deceitful, or we could do Calm, and Calm is actually probably best for us here. There we go. We'll take Calm. Looks good. Unfortunately, there isn't anything there that's, like, directly straight up a stewardship trait, but it'll do. So we'll take this gold. That's fine. I would like to continue to upgrade some of our men-at-arms, so we'll get that going, because we're not maxed out on that yet. And at this moment, I feel like expansion, again, is the way to go. So it'd be like these guys next, right? We can do a de jure claim here, and that would be absolutely fine. So we're going to get that going, and I'm going to raise our men-at-arms right up, ideally, here. But they might try to come and stack wipe us there before we get raised again. We'll see if that happens. So this is just going to be 3 castles like that. They're very, very close together. We'll see if that's enough. I kind of doubt it. They called in a holy order, not like we care. It's completely and totally irrelevant. They called in an ally. It's also irrelevant. We could become best friends with this person. I don't know if we want to. Well, it probably doesn't matter. Sure. We can swear an oath of eternal friendship. What is this? She's trying to take this title from our vassal. She is our player heir. I'll allow it for now. Taking it from our prisoner means that he's going to be less powerful when he gets out of prison. Not if, when he gets out of prison. That's only a temporary thing. At the very best case scenario for us, he dies in prison and his heir is immediately not in prison. So, you know, there's that. So we're just going to hop up over here. We don't have leadership here, which is kind of weird. Feels like we should have a leader right away, but whatever. We're going to hop up over this direction, grab these sieges, and this is absolutely fine. Okay, now we're going to walk this direction because we need to make our way up over here because we need to get some of these castles sieged, right? So we're not going to catch this force. They're going to walk down here and take out these nomads, which is absolutely fine by us. Actually, they're not going that way. We have discovered that girls are fascinating. Okay. So that's absolutely fine. We could get a crush on this person. She is a lowborn, and that would be very bad for our legitimacy. So we're not going to choose to do that. We're just going to realize that we are heterosexual. That's fine. So in we go here. There we go. And we're at 65%, and we're just going to go grab their capital. That might be enough. I think it probably will be. Especially if we happen to get a decent capture from their capital. We'll see if we do. So we'll hop in over here. I do see there's a faction here. What is this? This is nomads. Okay. They're 18 months away. For now, I'm not too concerned about that. 92%. Well, that's unfortunate. We're going to have to walk down over here. Very, very sad on that one. We're never going to have ticking war score because once again, you can see that this is flashing. I still believe that that's a I still believe that that's a bug. Who is this? This is our vassal? She would become our friend if we gave her the dog. I mean, she's not a powerful vassal. Or we could give it to our guardian. I believe having a better opinion does boost up our ultimate result. Maybe not. But I'm going to give it to him, and we'll have a positive opinion from him anyway. So that seems fine. We're going to walk down over here. And we'll wrap up this siege. So I'm not too concerned about the nomads at this moment. We'll get that taken care of. These guys are sieging back over here. That's very rude. Well, this is good enough. So we'll go ahead and enforce our demands and disband our troops. Beautiful. So that gives us this king title, which is fine. We've also got this territory out over here. So we're going to grant this out to a noble of the Tamil culture and a noble of the Tamil culture. Perfect. So we're just slowly infiltrating our culture out here, and this is actually a much better way to expand than the way we initially did it. It's much slower, but it will result in a much more stable realm. So I want to give a couple more of these nomad camps over to this guy. So we're going to do a nomadic camp here, and we have so many of these, and a nomadic camp over here. Cool. So that should solve that problem. Now, what's our timer looking like on our nomads? The answer is 15 months. Okay. Interesting. I'm just looking at the way that the Mongols is written here. It sticks out of their realm quite a lot. That's a little unusual, but I think it's because of this territory down over. Well, these are also the Mongols, but they're not part of that. So these must be tributaries to the Mongols up over here. I'm just wondering, do we have a de jure here? Yeah, we do, because we have the de jure Empire of Mongolia. So that's very good for us. That means that we have de jure claims all the way throughout all of this, and we're extremely happy about that. We need to be just slowly pushing this back and getting this all back under control, in theory. So for now, we could just attack somewhere out over here. We can do a couple of de jure out this direction. So that would be something like this. I'm only going to do 3 here. And I noted this area down over here. So, hi, pause menu. So that all looks good for right now. I'm going to hop over here, and we're going to raise up our men-at-arms here. This territory should not be held by us. We're going to grant that out. That should be fine. Okay. Was there any other territory over here we needed to grant? No. So that looks good. We're going to hop in here, and we'll just wait for our forces to raise. So 3 wars is probably not enough to make the AI feel super frisky, but maybe a little frisky. We'll see how that ends up going. These are not significant wars, though, and we can wrap them up very quickly once our forces are actually raised here. 20 months. That's a little odd, isn't it? I don't think it's actually going to take 20 months to get here. It's probably just like one night. That's a really long ways away. I'm going to call this good enough. So we're going to make our way up over here. And let's get these wars taken care of nice and quickly. Okay, it is slow to move through these mountains. That's understandable. And let's just make our way in here. Okay, so we're going to need to siege here, and then backtrack up over to here. It's a little awkward, but I think that's going to be the best way to do this. That'll allow us to get out of one of these wars quicker. And then come in here. There we go. So this war is over. We're going to enforce those demands, and we're going to hop up over this direction. While we're traveling, I'm going to grant these out to nobles. And, of course, we don't care to hold these nomadic camps ourselves. So we're going to hop over to this guy, and we're going to give them to him. Okay, so here's one nomadic camp, and I think we're going to need to grant, like, one more. Yeah, 0 direct vassals above our limit. That is correct. We're going to have to continue to do that, but that is absolutely fine. It's very awkward that we have those anyway. They aren't technically part of our realm, but they are our vassals in a really weird way, and I don't fully understand it, but okay, we'll enforce these demands. Looks good, and now we're going to head down over this direction. Is this part of what we're at war with? Yes. Yes, it is. We can actually walk in right here. And that looks wonderful. So I'm going to grant these out. And once again, I want to have these vassals be reporting to us while we can still give out these really weird nomadic camp vassals. So we're just going to do 1 and 2. Perfect. So that'll solve that. And then we'll just hop in right over this direction and wrap up this war. How long do we have on those nobles? 8 months, and then these guys are starting to build up, so that is absolutely noted. We're going to hop down over to their capital at this point. So that's all looking good. We're never going to have ticking war score, and that's understood. So we're at 13% war score right now, and we'll just push through, but it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll wrap up this war and probably continue to expand out over this direction. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge, STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.